Welcome to This is Molineux. This is a new unofficial podcast for Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club supporters, fans across the world, anybody looking to connect the heritage, the culture, the traditions of the football club to the modern day side and what we're seeing on the field and how we connect that to what we expect to see as a club. So hopefully you'll find these episodes engaging, enthusiastic, ready for your debates and for your comments. So always subscribe, like, and make sure that you share this with people that will find it interesting. And we look forward to speaking with you, meeting with you, debating with you on all aspects to do with Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club. So let's dive into the first episode. Welcome to This is Molineux.
Oh, gold heart, black country soul, floodlights rise and the night takes hold. This is more than you. This is our sound. This is more than you. Our sacred ground.
So welcome to the first episode of This is Molineux. My name is Lee Bakewell. It's a pleasure to finally get this podcast underway. It's been something I've been aiming to do for a little while. For whatever reason, keeps getting delayed and put back. But the start of a new season seems a good time as any to begin. A little bit about me and why I'm starting this podcast. So I've been a Wolves supporter since I can remember. My dad and my brother, season ticket holders from, I don't know, as young as I can remember. Early days, I remember Tuesday nights, lower tier of the John Island stand, 4th division. And then following them, obviously, all the way up and down in terms of the divisions. I do currently live here in the United States, so unfortunately, I don't get to go to the games on a regular basis. Try and catch one when I get back to England to visit family. And the goal of this podcast is really just to maybe vent a little bit. Maybe to express my opinions out loud as opposed to shouting them at the TV when watching the games. But I want to find the connection between the heritage of the club and what we see today as modern day supporters. The last couple of years has been tough with a big disconnect with obviously the ownership, the management of the club, some of the players on the field. A book I read recently, which kind of triggered a little bit in me, was a book called Legacy by James Kerr, which is based around the All Blacks and how they always try and leave the shirt better. And I feel that's been lost maybe since the Nuno days and into the past few years, where players coming onto the pitch, maybe the management, maybe the ownership on just trying to get by or move by, but are not actually invested in leaving the shirt better than what they found it. Some players obviously will do so, some will not. So this podcast is just to explore a little bit of the connection between the traditions, the heritage, the culture of the football club, and then what we as supporters are looking for in terms of performance, effort, style. Because at the end of the day, as supporters watching on, we can only go off what we see on the pitch. So we're not there on a day-to-day in the training ground. We don't know the necessarily voices that are being spoken about, because every time they're going to come out and speak to us as fans, it's always going to be something to appease or to alleviate a little bit of that stress, but we never really know what's going on behind the doors. So this podcast is very much going to be based around what we see on the pitch, how that links to the heritage and the culture of the football club from the days of Billy Wright, Stan Cullis, Andy Gray, Steve Ball, and then try and find those connections through those generations. That's where you guys can really help me in terms of, obviously, I was born in 82, so I very much were in the 90s with the Paul Inces, the Dennis Irwins, the Steve Balls, Andy Much, Robbie Dennison, Steve Froggatt, Tony Daly, ring them off, John DeWolf, classic favourite of mine. So if you did grow up in the 50s, 60s watching Wolves in those glory days, you guys can be a huge help to me to explain to me the players back then, the Broadbents, the Wagstaffs, the Hibbets, the Richards, players I can only see on the highlight reels, but not obviously experience them on a day-to-day basis. So each episode will be, as short as it possibly can be. So, listening to me whine on for many years. We're not going to necessarily be able to do here the game day reviews or breakdowns necessarily. There's a huge amount of fan channels out there that do an amazing job of really sharing that emotion and feeling from the games. Obviously, being in the United States, I can't get to every game, so I'll leave that up to those guys. But this is more me just trying to provide an opportunity to share my opinion, share my voice in a forum that I feel comfortable. So if you find this, be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment. All of that goes to making sure it gets to the wider audience, and shapes my content to the Wolves fan. So as I said, been a season ticket holder since I was 6 years old. Obviously no longer. That was up until when I went to university. I now coach football in the United States. I've done for close to 20, was that 2 years, 23 years now, coaching at all different levels, from the 3-year-olds up to the college, university level players here in the States. So hopefully I when we do break down the squad, break down the tactics, the philosophy, hopefully there's a little bit of insight from an amateur coach, should we say, that maybe make us look at the game maybe a little bit differently. We'll see. So subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you want to see, tell me what we can do differently. Obviously we're not taking the place of any of the existing fan channels. They do an amazing job, get content out daily. I doubt I'll be able to do that, but I'm looking forward to connecting with Wolves fans and seeing what they see and sharing that through this platform. So pleasure to meet you all, and we'll see you again in the next episode.